I'd like to welcome you all to today's HelpDesk webinar. We're going to be talking about implementing and using a simple yet powerful solution. My name is Amy Koczynski, and I will be your moderator for today. So first of all, we have a promotion that we're running right now. If you buy 2 full technician licenses of GroupLink's Everything HelpDesk, you will be eligible to receive a new iPad. And if you'd like to take advantage of that offer, or if you'd just like more details, you can contact your account representative. So our presenter for today is Gus Heitenen, and he is an account representative here at GroupLink. And he will be showing us how to use a simple help desk. And let's see. Okay, just a minute here. Okay, Gus, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Amy. Let me do this. I'm going to share my desktop with you. And Amy, if you'll confirm if you can see it. Let's give it just, here we go. Can you see, Amy, can you see the login screen with my mouse moving?
I can see it now, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Gus. I'm with GroupLink. I appreciate your time very much this morning. I'm just going to take kind of a few minutes and talk a little bit about GroupLink, a little bit about the help desk, and then we'll go ahead and jump in and go through some live stuff and show some examples to you. Once again, this is kind of a brief overview, kind of just touching the surface of what the help desk can do and the power that it has. We do offer one-on-one webinars. If you are interested in that, all you have to do is kind of throw that into the chat there or in the Q&A, and we can contact you, kind of maybe take a little bit more time and talk specifically about how you would like to do some things, some of your goals, some of the needs that you might have when it comes to a help desk software. And so feel free to let us know if you're interested in that, and we can set up a time with you to do that. GroupLink here with the help desk. The help desk has been around about 12 years now. We've had great success with the help desk. A lot of customers out there using it, and so we want to go ahead and show you some of the powerful tools that we have that have been able to help them. First off, I'll mention is that the help desk is web-based. It's entirely web-based. It's web-based for your end users, for your technicians, even for your managers. It is mobile compatible. Those of you using Droids, Blackberries, iPhones, iPads, iPod Touch with Wi-Fi, we would be able to utilize those as well. But we realize those technicians are on the go a lot, and we wanted to make it as easy as possible to get into the help desk. I want to kind of go through 3 different scenarios today. Briefly. I want to first start with the end user experience, what it's like for one of your end users to submit a ticket, whether that's by a web form, whether that's by phone call or email. We have different avenues for that. I want to start there because that's usually where it starts for the help desk, is the question that the end user has. Then I want to go in as a tech, just kind of briefly go through updating a ticket, some of the powerful tools we have there with email integration, email notifications, your directory integration, whether that's eDirectory, Active Directory, even an open LDAP directory. I'll talk about that. And then I want to conclude more on the managerial side, get into some of the tools that really make life a little bit easier for everybody, some of the automation that we have, some of the reporting that we're able to do. And so that's kind of my goal today. Once again, I'm just scratching on the surface. We do offer those one-on-one webinars if you wanted to get more specific with some of your needs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to log in as an end user. Once again, this is just one avenue for getting tickets into the system. Phone and email are also other avenues, which I'll discuss briefly. Being a web-based system, it's very easy to make this accessible to your end users, whether it's a link on a website, a bookmark, a shortcut. There's different things we can do there. We're integrating with your directory for login ID and passwords. There's a reason that we ask them to authenticate, and I'll kind of discuss that. But just know that you're not having to recreate login ID and passwords for all of your end users. We're simply just going to pull that info from your directory. Once again, that's eDirectory, Active Directory, Open LDAP directory. We're able to integrate with any of those. And so I'm going to come in here as a user. Now, as I mentioned, there's a couple of reasons we ask them to authenticate, and I'll kind of discuss that. The main thing here is that they actually have their own interface. I've logged in as Nikki Patterson. The first thing you'll notice is that I have a list of tickets here. These are tickets that I, Nikki, have submitted to the help desk, whether by web form, whether by phone, whether by email. This is a list of tickets that represent me. It's a great place for me to come for status updates. I don't have to call the help desk. I don't have to email anybody. I don't have to track anybody down. I have a place where I can go to get the status updates and view the public notes for my tickets. I can even input information. Hey, I rebooted my computer. It seems to be working a little bit better now. There's some great tools here, for the end user. You'll notice the text across the top there. Phones are down. Please do not submit tickets for phones. A lot of times when you allow a user to go in and submit tickets to the help desk, you want to notify them, send them some alerts. The phones are down. That's a great example, right? Don't submit tickets for phones. The last thing you want are 40 tickets for a phone issue that you already know about. And so it would take you like 5-10 seconds to go in, change that, but like I said, great for alerts there for the user. Now for this instance, I'm actually going to walk you through creating a ticket. My goal here is to show you how easy it is to fill this form out. I'm going to take a few minutes and discuss some of the powerful tools and some of the intelligence that's within this form and the options that you have. But at the end of my end goal here is for you to see how easy it would be for the user. You'll notice first thing, contact information is already filled out. Because we've asked them to authenticate, we're pulling this information from the directory. I have it defaulted to 4 fields. If you have additional fields in your directory that you want to pull into this ticket, you do have the ability to do that. You're not limited to what you see here. Any field you store in the directory, you can show automatically within the ticket. Like I said, make it easy for the user. The last thing we want them to have to do is tell us who they are, what their email is, what their phone is, every time that they fill this out. We already know that information. We're just simply going to go grab it, pull it in. Now, we are going to ask them to fill out a few simple drop-downs here. Like I said, I'm going to take a minute and discuss your options on the back end of this. The first thing here is location. The first thing I want to mention is that these drop-downs are configured by you. Don't be thrown off by what I have in here. I have this configured right now for a school. These could be physical locations, buildings, floors, departments. It's really however you'd like to do it. I do want to make mention of a new release coming out where you can actually tie a location to a user where if it matches here within the directory, it would autofill. So they're not even having to fill that out. They could change it if they're moving around a little bit, but it's one of those tools that makes it just a little bit easier for them. Now we come here to group. Now, obviously, we're talking information technology today. I do want to make mention, you'll notice like maintenance facilities, transportation. This system does have the ability to service multiple departments. Most organizations now are utilizing a work order ticket tracking system in other departments. Our system has the ability to do that. Really the key is that there's rights and securities separating departments. Technology, you don't see maintenance tickets. They don't see your tickets. You don't report on each other's tickets. Really, you don't even know that each other exists on the same system unless given rights to do so. Really, we're just trying to create a central place for your end users to go for help, whether it's for their heating and air conditioning or maybe for their computer. All customization, all reporting, it's all separate. We're just coming in here and clarifying who we want to send this to. You'll notice if I choose maintenance and I come to category, I'm now looking specifically at maintenance type of work orders or support. If I come back to technology, I'm now looking specifically at IT issues. Now, once again, this is configured by you. I have it as hardware, network, software. This could be, I need help. I have a problem. I have a request. There's different ways that you're able to configure this. If I choose hardware, you'll probably notice when I come to category option, you probably get the idea here. I'm now looking specifically at hardware types of issues. If I chose software, I would then see the different types of software applications that we support. Really, right here, this is a great way to get additional information. I'm sure that none of you have ever received an email from the user and all it says is, I need help. And you go, okay, that's nice, but with what? And this is a way where we can maybe categorize it. They might be wrong, we understand that, but maybe we can get a better idea of what the problem is. And also from a reporting side, this is kind of getting off topic, but you are able to now run reports based off of type of issues, which is great for trending. What types of issues do we see? How much time are we spending? Can we eliminate some of these with some training? That's great information to have. Now, if I choose a category option, you'll notice that an assignment was made. I want to talk just a second about that. The system has the intelligence and the ability to route assignments to either individuals or teams. In this case, I have it to an individual. The first thing I want to mention is that this is it looks like a drop down, it is not. They can never change an automated assignment that you make. Really, you can make that automated assignment based off of any fields. Some customers, organizations, they want it off of location. They have a first-line support tech at each location, right? If it comes in from the high school, it goes to Gus. Gus can then pass it on to second, third level support if needed, but we're just going to route it to him as first point contact. You as an IT manager, you can still see this ticket. You can still access it. You can still go in and look at it. Don't feel like you're never going to see that. It will be there. Or you can even base it off of type of issue. Hardware issues go to Gus. Software issues go to Amy. I think you get the idea there. Probably the most common is not to send it to an individual, but send it to a ticket pool where you can then go in and dispatch out. Maybe you have a help desk manager that's monitoring those and can then assign them out as needed to individuals. Real quick, I want to show you a customized option. If I choose printer, you'll notice some additional fields populated. These are examples of custom fields. We have a tool in the manager side of each department, in this case tech services, where you can go in and build additional fields. It would literally take you 3 to 5 seconds to build one of these. You can make them text areas, drop downs, check boxes, radio buttons, a lot of different options. You can make them required. Really what's great about this is most times you have additional questions you want to ask, even based off of a type of problem. Is it plugged in? Is it turned on? Did you reboot your computer? You now have the ability to add some of those fields. Now that's technology. If human resources is using this system, they can then come in and gather the information they may need for like a vacation request or things like that. And so there's some great tools there to really help you gather information and track information. And once again, you're getting this at first contact. You're not playing phone tag for 3 days to gather that info. I'll talk about assets more on the tech side, where we're able to go ahead and track assets. Subject, note, attachments. I could throw an attachment on here if I wanted. When I save this, 2 things happen, and this goes into our email integration, whether it's GroupWise or Google or Exchange Outlook. We do have that integration. But when this is saved, an email goes back to the end user as a confirmation with a ticket number, and we also send the individual or maybe the person that's monitoring the ticket pool an email letting them know that there's a new ticket within the system. Those are defaults. If you're in your queue all day and you don't want to get this email for every time you get a new ticket, you can simply just have that turned off, as long as you're checking your queue. All right, I'm going to kind of move on here. I think there is a Q&A there. Amy, will you monitor that? If there's any questions that pop up, you guys want to ask questions, feel free, Amy, to interrupt me, and then I'll ask away, or I'll answer away, I guess. That's what I meant. All right, let me jump out here. You probably noticed this before we logged in. There is a knowledge base to this. I'm not really going to get into that here, but just know that that's available for like self-help for the user, where they can do a little search engine, your top 10, top 15 frequently asked questions. They're able to go in and to look at that kind of stuff. You can even take closed tickets and make them into articles, things like that. There is a private side where if you wanted to throw detailed resolution sensitive documentation into the knowledge base, make it private. Only those with tech or manager rights can view those. And so you can have some more detailed stuff in there as well. All right, I've logged in as a manager. The difference between a tech and a manager is going to be settings and full access to reporting. You can give a technician full access to reporting without giving them rights to settings. It's kind of an in-between. But really, this is what I would probably see as a technician, same interface, where I have my assignments. Maybe I'm a member of a team queue, a ticket pool here. I can view that. The managerial view is going to be this, where I can see what all, everything that's going on within the organization. whether it's assigned to me or not. Once again, this is a view you can give technicians if you'd like. I just want to take a quick second, maybe open up a ticket, and we'll talk about updating it and some of the things we're tracking, just some basics. All right. Basic information: ticket number, created dates, modified dates, work time. We track time in two ways: created, modified to closed. You're able to see those. And then we also have like a hands-on time. Kind of the idea here is, yeah, the ticket was open for 2 weeks, but we waited a week and a half for a part to come in. So this is actually how much time we've spent. This is something you can manually update, or you could even have count for you if you wanted. We really just want to leave that option up to you as the customer as far as how you want to calculate that, but you are able to report on it. The PDF button, this just allows you to go in and print this off in PDF format if you wanted. Now, if I come in, I have my ticket info, and then if I scroll down, you'll notice I have history. You'll also see a tab for sub-tickets, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes, more on the managerial side. It's more along the lines of like project management, parent-child ticketing, that sort of thing. But if I come into history, anytime we make changes to this ticket, we tell you the day, the time, and who made the change. Whether that's a tech, a manager, whether that's an end user, we're going to track all of that info. If I wanted to make that update, I could come up here and I could simply add comment. This is just a note field that would go into the history of the ticket. But I'm going to go ahead and make a change. Let's go ahead and put this on hold, move it to like medium. You'll even notice I could close it from here if I wanted. Maybe I need to pass this on to another support staff. I have some different options. But when I save it, a pop-up window comes up. Now, you'll notice here, it looks like WebEx is a little slow on me. Amy, if it sounds like I'm getting ahead of what you're seeing, will you let me know? Just so sometimes with WebEx it's a little off, but you'll notice here that I can continue without comments if I wanted. I don't have to make notes, but it does give me the option. Part is on order. Oh, if I could spell, here we go. And then I could come in here and I could add additional notes if I wanted. Will be in on Friday. Really what I want to show you is this, the notification. I have the ability to notify techs and users. I am the tech. I don't want to notify myself, but maybe I want to notify the user. This is a default. I have it defaulted off for personal preference. You could have it on. But when I save this, this sends an email back to the user with this information automatically. Kind of the idea here is to increase customer satisfaction without decreasing productivity. You're not having to make separate phone calls, write separate emails to update the user. We can simply just do that throughout the process of the ticket. They get all warm and fuzzy, and then you guys can move on to the rest of your day and the busy things that you do. Now, something else that we do here is we track the ticket number in the subject line of this email that's sent to them. So you're probably asking, well, what happens if they reply to the email? If they reply to the email, their reply comes back to the help desk, looks up ticket number 3, and then it's going to take a second here and update the ticket. It's going to come back to ticket number 3, and it's going to stamp their reply in the history of this ticket. Here, day, time, what their reply was, and send an email, obviously, to the technician with that update as well, letting them know. And so we are going to be tracking that correspondence that happens between the email. What's cool is if the technician gets the email, hits reply, guess what? Comes back to ticket 3, stamps history, sends to user. And so a pretty cool email integration there, where we're able to track that correspondence. I think a lot of times that type of correspondence goes undocumented, and sometimes it has some critical information that you may need. And so we wanted to make sure that we're able to do that. All right. Now, if I come in here, you'll notice asset. I just want to touch on this briefly. There's kind of 2 reasons you want to track assets with a help desk software. Number 1, to store and view asset information. Number 2, tie problems to assets. Most asset management tools out there do not do that. And so we wanted to make sure that we still have that type of reporting ability. And I'll show you what I mean. Once maybe you tag your assets where you can put in a number or it's a name, but once we've gone ahead and inputted the asset and tied it to this ticket, we can come in here and we can, number 1, view asset information. I'm going to go through this pretty brief. Asset numbers, names, types, statuses. These drop downs are also configured by you. If you wanted to track inventory, what we've assigned out, what we have on hand, that type of thing you can do. Locations, owners, vendors, a lot of information here. Manufacturers, when we acquired it, accounting info, PO numbers, lease information, warranty dates. Any field you see in the asset tracker, you have the ability to filter and report on. If I come back here, show me all laptops that are assigned out. Who are they assigned to? Where are they located? You'd be able to view that. Show me all assets that came in on a specific PO, or maybe warranty dates. Show me all assets, the warranty's up in the next 3 months. We need to go check those assets, see if there's anything we need to send in. You can look at that type of data and information. I'm looking at a monitor, but we could also track like software licenses, memory, things like that are on this machine. We do have remote control management where you can actually remote into an asset right from the ticket itself. It's an inclusion and part of our software to be able to do that. These additional fields here, these tabs, these are examples of custom tabs. I like the flexibility that the software offers. If there's anything that you want to track on an asset, you have the ability to do. You just come in, create a tab, create fields. It literally took me 3 to 5 minutes to create these 4 tabs. This is probably the wrong example. This should have been more on the transportation side, but you want to track oil changes on vehicles. You can do that. You can report on it. You can see it, for a specific vehicle. It's a great tool. Now, probably my favorite tab here, you'll notice I skipped over it, is the HelpDesk tab. If I choose this, this is my Carfax history report for this asset. I think this is so valuable to a technician. As a tech, I can come in here and I can see all tickets ever associated to this asset. My first question would probably be, has this asset ever had this problem in the past? If it has, I can come here and I can see maybe how it was resolved. It's a great knowledge base, I guess, in a way in itself. Now, you as a manager, you have a little bit more ability where you can go in and run reports on multiple assets. Show me my problem assets, my top 10, my top 15. Maybe you want to go ahead and see what vendors those are associated to. Maybe we need to stay away from a vendor or model or something like that. Great information that we're tracking. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close the browser here on this ticket. Something I failed to mention, and I apologize, phone and email. If I'm a tech and I come in here to create a new ticket, I have the ability to create this for an additional, for an end user, for another person, where I can come in. This is searching your directory. I have Nikki on the phone. I choose Nikki's name. It auto-populates info. I won't go back through this. We've kind of already done it. Just note that there are additional fields that the user doesn't fill out that you can, for pretty obvious reasons. Priorities are always high. Statuses are now, and estimated completion dates are yesterday, right, when it comes from the user. So we don't allow them to fill those out. Email, I guess real quick I'll touch on that. We have a feature called email to ticket where we can actually take emails and generate them automatically into tickets. What we do is we monitor like a generic email account for you, HelpDesk @domain, and that's for each department. So we can monitor multiple email addresses. But when an email hits it, it auto-generates a ticket. You're not having to copy and paste and build tickets from emails, which I know becomes a big pain sometimes. It is a little bit more generic, and I'll explain what I mean by that. We are going to autofill the user's information based off of their email address, so we know who they are. It's going to have the subject of the email here, note of the email here. Attachments would be brought over as well. Really, the only fields that we won't fill out are going to be category, category option. We just don't know what those are. Based off of the text of the email, the technician or the manager would have to come in and maybe clarify what those are. When we first came out with it, we kind of had the tool. We kind of had it where it would search keywords, but there was a performance issue there where it was kind of bogging down performance because it was always searching for those words. And so we felt that it was just way easier for maybe the technician to come in and say, hey, this deals with their computer, and then they could just classify it. And so I know that's kind of out of order, and I failed to mention it, but I wanted to make sure that I showed that to you as far as email to ticket. Okay, I'm going to jump into the managerial side and kind of wrap it up there and let you guys get back to your day. But there's 2 things I want to talk about: reporting and ticket templates. I think I'll start with templates. You probably get the idea of what a template is. It's a pre-populated ticket. there's kind of 3 different ways that you can use them within our software, within the help desk, and I want to discuss those 3. The first one is help desk. The other 2 are a little bit outside of help desk, and I'll kind of explain what I mean by that in a second. The first one I want to show you is what we call a quick ticket. I would imagine most of you take phone calls every day for problems that it would take you longer to fill out a ticket than to solve it. And so we wanted to find, kind of our goal here, I guess, is for you to document everything you do. And I would assume that would be your goal as well. There's a lot of value in documentation. And so we wanted to find an efficient way where you could document those common everyday calls that come in. So instead of filling out a new ticket, what I could do is I could come here to a template and would open a pre-populated ticket for me, waiting on WebEx here. And so instead of coming in and filling this out from scratch, you'll notice it's pre-populated. You have to excuse my custom fields that I have in. I put those in and didn't pre-populate them, so it kind of looks funny here. But you'll notice the status here is closed. I have a note, a subject. All I have to do is input who the user is and launch the ticket, and it would go into the system at the status defaulted for the template, in this case closed. This may be a printer issue that still needs to be looked at. I mean, you could have it at any status that you wanted as far as the default goes. It's just a quick way to get it either closed or into a queue for someone to take care of. You're not having to fill this out from scratch every time this call comes in. I hope that makes sense. Now the other 2 type, if I come in here, I'm going to go into more of the managerial view to kind of show these. As I mentioned, these are a little bit outside of help desk. And what I mean by that is we realize you don't just help people all day. You have a lot of things you do that really no one even knows about. Updates, upgrades, maintenance, projects, a lot of things going on. And so we wanted to find an efficient way where you could track those. The first one I want to show you is the database backup. This is an example of a reoccurring ticket. I'm going to go into edit mode first. I would assume most of you have tasks you do, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. What you can do is you can come in and you can build a ticket or a template for that task, and you can put it on a reoccurrence pattern. Now, you may say, I want this to launch in May, and you want it one time. You could do that. Or you could reoccur it where you say, maybe on the first Monday of every month, I want this ticket to be created, or the first day, or the 15th. I think you get the idea here. So on the 15th of every month, this ticket will be created and sent to you. Number 1, great reminder, right? You got to do this task. Number 2, you're documenting it. Dear Mr. CEO, dear Mr. Superintendent, this is how much time we spend helping people, and this is how much time we spend maintaining and upgrading technology within the organization. And so there's some great tools here. Maintenance departments, transportation departments, they use this for like preventative maintenance, PMs, where they can schedule it out. You'll notice any time frame I want. Maybe every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I want this to be created and sent to the team queue for somebody to do, or we'll assign it from there. A lot of different options. The other one here is what we call a workflow template. This is along the lines of project management and automating steps within a project. Now, I would assume most of you might be familiar with like parent-child ticketing or tickets and sub-tickets. This is an automated way to do it. Real quick, I'm going to come back here and kind of just discuss parent-child ticketing. If I open up a ticket, within any ticket in our system, you have the ability to create child tickets or sub-tickets. The templates allow you to automate it, and so you can do it manual or automate it. For instance, if I'm in charge of a project, I can come in here and I can see all the different tasks for that project. They're their own ticket. They're assigned to an individual or a team. I can see when they're due, what the status currently is of those. I can manually create it anytime I want. If I come back here to templates, this is where I can create an automated step-by-step workflow for a process or a project that we're doing. I'm going to come into edit mode. The example I have is a new hire. When you have a new hire, there's usually, a ton of steps that happen. And a lot of times you collaborate with multiple departments in doing this. And this is a great communication tool as well. We need maintenance to put in a desk. We need to put in a computer and a phone. And we need to give them their rights and securities as a user and add them to the directory. And I'm sure your list is a lot longer. It probably includes a lot of HR stuff. But what I can do is I can come here and I set this up. And step 1, we're going to have human resources launch a parent ticket. Step 2, we send out 2 of the tickets. one to maintenance to put in a desk and the other one to IT to add them to the directory. Once those have been completed, then the next series of tickets are kicked out to those individuals. Phone setup, computer setup. I think you get the idea of what we're doing here. Next step, once those are completed, then we send out the next series of tickets. You can have more than 4 or 5 steps. You can come in here, you can put these in any order that you want, as you can see. Kind of the idea is how many times have you shown up with a computer and there's no desk? Or you've shown up to put in their, security information and there's no computer. And so we wanted to find an efficient way where maybe you could track that as well as automate, when you're notified. We do have a tool that I'm not going to get into today that's great for auto notifications and auto escalation. What it does is it monitors aging of tickets where, for service level agreements and things like that, where if this desk ticket sits out there for more than 2 days, we're going to automatically re-notify the IT department, letting them know, hey, this is still out there, it's 2 days old, we're going to escalate it to high priority. And so don't feel like some of these steps may just sit out there forever. We do have tools in place to notify based off of aging of the ticket. All right. I realize that I'm probably getting long-winded here, so I'm going to conclude with reports. We have 2 types of reports that we can build within the system, data reports and graphical reports. The graphical reports are a little bit more robust, so I'm probably just going to spend my time there, but I do want to quickly show you the interface for building a report. Each of these fields represent fields or data that we're storing in the system. I have additional fields up here. Maybe I want to see contact name, I want to see work time. You notice those fields have been added. I come in here to custom fields. I can also add these. Did you spill Coke on your keyboard again? Is it sticky, right? You come down. I've now added the custom fields carry the same value and filtering as a standard field does, which is a unique tool to our system. Most help desks don't do that, and so it does allow you to do that. I don't have anything there. It's more meant to be a joke, and so it won't show any info. But this is my data report here, my column order. I can put these in any order that I want. I'm going to show those fields. I can put contact name first. I can put created date second. I can filter. I only want to see closed tickets. Maybe somebody's getting that big raise. I can take a look and see what they've done for the year. Maybe I want to look at specific locations. I think you get the idea as far as some of the filtering I'm doing. Any time frames, today, this week, this month, a range, the last 2 hours, 3 days, 4 weeks. You want to look at a specific contact or two. Some great options. Now, once I've built that, obviously it'll come up as a data report. I could name it, I could save it, and then all of my saved filters are stored here. I have 2 options that I can do. I guess additional options. You can always rerun these filters at any time, but I can also either make it a graphical report or I can create a tab on my home screen. This is pretty cool, where you can take one of your filters and you can make it a tab. This is actually a custom tab where you can see, the fields you want in the order that you want to see them, the filter that you want. I can even come in here, customize this a little bit more, or I can come to the plus sign. This takes me to my saved filters. Maybe I want to look at a location. We've had some issues out there. I save that. I come back here to my tickets, and you'll notice that I've now saved that filter to my home screen as a tab. And you can really have as many of these tabs as you want. Obviously, the more you get, the more bunched up it gets, but it's a great, opportunity and tool to look at things a little bit differently if you wanted to. Now, just to finish up here in reports, the graphical reports, as I mentioned, a little bit more robust. What it allows you to do is to group and drill down, and I'll explain what I mean. I'm going to go into edit mode, open tickets by location. I'll explain the drill down. So what happens is I've created a filter called open tickets. So I want to see all our open tickets in the department, but I've kind of defined it by location, meaning I want to group it or break it down by our locations. Now I have different options. I can do this by category, by technician, by priority, by status. I mean, there's different things that I can look at, or different ways I can look at this. But I'm going to look at it by location. When I drill down again, what do I want to see? And I still have, different options. I'm going to go ahead and stick with status. I want to see what types of open statuses. Pie charts, bar charts. I could do this in PDF, HTML, Excel, CSV. I can even run this on a schedule. We can automate this. Hey, email this to me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or every morning, things like that. You can email to other people. Hey, once a month, here's the boss report, right? It's just automated. Now, if I come in here and run it, give it just a second here, on WebEx. I'm going to go ahead and run this. There we go. Let me expand it out. I'll give it a second for the graph to show up. I think what's happening is Amy's playing solitaire and it's slowing the WebEx down. I think that's what's happening. I'm just kidding, Amy. We'll give it just a second. That was strike one. We'll see what this one does. There we go. You should be able to see it. Okay, let me expand this out. So I have my pretty little graph here. You'll notice here 54 open tickets within the organization. I have my time spent. If you come over here, you remember I broke this down by location. So I have 25 open tickets at this one, 17 at this one. That seems pretty excessive, 25. Remember, we had some issues out there. If I drill down, I can then come in and you'll remember, I wanted to see types of status. And so a lot of assigned not updated, few that we're working on. If I drill down again, this actually takes me to the actual tickets, or I can even open this ticket from the report. I don't have to go back into the help desk and look up ticket number 7. I can come in and I can open it right from the report. Now, I have a couple of different options. I'm going to attempt this again. This one's an HTML format. Yeah, this one should be a little quicker. I'll expand it. Where this is by type of problem. We want to identify some areas to train in. Ignore the maintenance stuff in here. I have rights to maintenance in my demo so that I can show it, and that's why you see that. I just didn't filter it right. But hardware issues, I drill down, a lot of hardware, boot problems, I drill down again. Hey, wait a minute, maybe this isn't a boot problem. Maybe this is a Nikki Patterson problem, right? And so some great information that we're able to see here, through these reports. All right. I'm going to kind of conclude there. I'm going to turn the time back over to Amy. Before I do that, I guess, Amy, I'll just mention, this is a system that you download in-house. This is a common question that we get. We use Apache Tomcat for your web service. You're able to push it out over the web. It does not take up a lot of room. You can throw this on a Windows box, a Linux box. You could, your backend most commonly is MySQL, more because it's free than anything, but you could throw this on like a Microsoft SQL database, an Oracle database. You have some different options there. I prefer Firefox as my web browser. That's just a personal preference, just, IE, Chrome, Safari. You're not going to have any issues. We're really not married to a certain environment. Amy, I'll turn the time back over to you. Let me know if there's additional questions. I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that great information, Gus. Again, if you do have any questions, feel free to put them through on the chat or the Q&A. And I do have one question that I've seen come through for you, Gus. Is it possible to autofill the estimated completion date based on the priority?
Right now, the estimated completion date is a field that you have to manually fill out. It can't be set on like a timeline. I think what you mean is, if it's high priority, automatically it sets to like 2 days or 1 day. We don't do that. Through the scheduler, we are able to monitor it so we can escalate it and notify, this type of problem is a high priority and we want to have it accomplished within 1 day, and it'll notify if it's not. But it does not tie directly to the estimated completion date right now.
Okay, perfect. And it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So we'll go ahead and wrap up then. And if you do have any more questions, feel free to put them through on the chat or the Q&A, or you can contact us after this webinar. Okay, and we also have a Facebook page, a Google Plus, and a LinkedIn page, so you can stay in touch with us. We do update those pages with upcoming webinars, promotions, and other events that we do, so you can visit any one of those links there and follow us. And thank you all for coming to today's Help Desk webinar.